A lot of entrepreneurs today are executing their passions. And if we look in the area of manufacturing, some of us have been shying away, of course, because of its complexities, such as its capital-intensive nature.
Now, this is coming at a time when government is pursuing an import substitution strategy. Of course, the idea is to save the forex that the country bleeds in importing a lot of things that we use in our day-to-day life. Now, in this segment of Entrepreneur, we bring you the story of a young man who has mastered the art of actually making it in the area of manufacturing and is doing well.
In 2014, I was in consultancy, and I had always had a passion or desire to do a business which can change my community, which can influence people. But then I looked around and I didn't know what to do. So as I was looking through consultancy and a lot of advisory, right, left and center, I landed on leather, Ugandan leather. And I realized that 95% of Ugandan leather is actually exported. And I picked interest. I said, why? And it's exported to Europe, it is exported to Asia, to China, and it never comes back. So I remember growing up, the biggest shoe you could put on is a used shoe. Not exactly good quality, but used. So I decided that I should pick interest. So I researched about what happens with leather in Uganda. And that's when I realized that even the biggest manufacturer who was making shoes was no longer working. So I said I should be interested in shoes manufacturing, but I didn't know which kind of shoes that I should make. So I made a bit of a study, and we ended up with a good business plan, which I thought was bankable by then. And we studied it about 6 months and realized that children who go to school actually walk on foot. And actually, for your information, about 75% of children in Uganda cannot access a good quality shoe. It is either not affordable or it is recyclable. They put on shoes for about 6 months, and either they are done or they are disposable, especially plastic shoes. So when I discovered that information, I realized that there is a big gap, that children walk 7 kilometers every day and do not have a pair of shoes in their foot. So we picked interest. We said, let's manufacture affordable, durable, and also dependable children's shoes for our country. And that's when we started in 2015, from 10 pairs to currently 200 pairs. What makes us different is that we are looking to manufacture very affordable shoes. Because when you look at the quality of shoes on the market, if it is a very first-class shoe, it is not affordable. You're talking about 100,000 Uganda shillings for an average pair. We want to put our shoes between 40,000, average of 40,000. Now we think that Ugandans who earn at least 300,000 shillings per month should afford their children a decent pair of shoes. A number of principles govern us to stay afloat, and one of them is that we have strict internal financial management. We make sure that our finances are strictly controlled, because every money that we make, every profit that we make per year, we continuously invest. When we invest in machines, we invest in people, we invest in training, so that we improve our quality. The other thing that helps us is we keep in touch with the lowest end user of our products, the last consumer of our shoes. We keep engaging them. We conduct periodical surveys to know how they rate our shoes. And we use that feedback to input into our managerial system to improve our quality, to improve our systems, to improve our processes. Since 2015, we have achieved a lot. We have grown from making less than 20 million in 2015. By the end of the year, of last year, we made close to 1 billion shillings in sales. We have also grown our equipment. Equipment has grown. Imagine from 10 sandals in 2015 to 200 pairs of fine quality children's shoes. It is a big milestone. The third thing is that we have achieved in terms of engaging youth. Honestly speaking, when we started, we were 2 youth, myself and another colleague, making 10 sandals. Right now, we are talking about 34 youth who are full-time employed. The biggest challenge for any business has been finance. Growth always sucks cash for any business. When you're investing in machinery, when you're investing in training, when you're investing in plant, it requires a lot of money. But what we've done is that we've worked closely with the banks, a number of banks, to give us finances. We already have the machine that manufactures soles. That machine has a capacity of over 2,000 pairs every day. We have the machinery to stitch the shoes. We have trained manpower working with PSFU. We have the expertise. Our management is strong because they are trained, they are experienced in this industry. So we are going to move from 200 pairs to 1,000 pairs, possibly by close of next year. Also, you could have seen that some of our machines are out. We have already finalized plans. We have 2 acres of land, which we secured. We have developed our plans and designs. They have been approved by the authorities, and right now they're actually doing the grading of the land. So a big plant is coming up where we can have our process flowing.
We started up a school in Ntinda. It was called All Explorers Elementary School. That was in 2014. That's when we started. We started up a school. We started as a nursery school. We moved on later to primary slowly. And we were grumbling, struggling here and there. We didn't have our own building, so we rented out. We were renting out. Recently, when COVID came, it became so hard for us to stand. And later, finally, the landlord said, I've tolerated you enough, but probably I need the building to use it for some facilities. That was a very painful experience because we had been in this school for 6 years. We had seen it expand a little bit. We had invested a lot of money and even time and resources, so it was very challenging. But the life of an entrepreneur is always persistence. One of the most important virtues of any entrepreneur is persistence. You can fall down 7 times and stand up 5 times. If you fall and you're going to stay on the ground, you will fall forever. When you fall for some few minutes and cry and nurse your wounds. Immediately you stand up and wipe out and you think of what's next. How should I move on? So that's how the school went. But we're thinking of opening up another one very soon.
In our technology segment, we again look at the trends, the new innovations and developments that are key to facilitating business growth and development. Shamim, we're in the world today where without technology, a lot can't happen.
Yes, and we're saying that it does not really matter where you are, but we should all be able to have access, connectivity, and convenience in any kind of interaction in business.
Several banks and telecom companies in Uganda have been lately targeted by cyber criminals. The latest is a heist that saw one telecom operator and affiliated financial institutions lose close to 8 billion shillings. To cyber experts, the jump in the utilization of digital resources as we continuously remotely work is likely to attract more of such vices.
So as we shift, we have seen a huge increase and uptake of virtual working, and many organizations now are embracing digital technologies. So if we are going to be protected, we have, in technology we look at what we say 2 P's and the T. The first one is the people, the second one is the processes, and the third one is the technology. The biggest challenge which happens is that many banks or telecoms or other institutions like government end up spending a fortune in bringing technology when they have not yet put the right framework of the people in place. So it doesn't matter how much resources you have. If the people you have don't know how to use them, they still will never be enough.
Many IT service users, both companies and individuals, are not faring well, even with following and respecting protection practices, thus offering fraudsters a window of opportunity to compromise their systems.
I have investigated so many cases in Uganda and even in the region, and also published Project Frontline, and we realized that basic housekeeping issues of IT governance, change management, attention to detail are the ones which cause us exposed. And these have been from time immemorial, and we see they are going to increase unless organizations prioritizes people and invests the same amount of money they invest in technology and maybe third-party services. First look at the people and give them a better awareness and exposure in the technologies you are bringing.
This is in sync with the assertion of human resource experts who believe that many a time organizations tend to prioritize machinery as opposed to tooling their workforce. This in itself has bred a number of mishaps, leading to more losses to organizations.
Cyber crimes are like rape. Most of the time, victims remain silent and suffer with them. And that's why you will not see many cases which take place on a daily basis actually being published, because the victims just choose to let it go. Whether it is a financial institution, whether it is a telecom company, whether even it is a government, telling everybody that I have been hacked or I have lost money because of maybe online harassment and things like this, is like you're exposing yourself, and it could cost you what we call goodwill and a reputation. And for a financial institution like a bank, that could cause a run on the bank. So the easiest way is to do cost-benefit analysis. You have lost money, maybe you just say, let us contain it and try to handle internally. So meaning that cases we would have got or lessons we would have got, they never come.
So as the country posts a jump in cyber-related cases, experts are calling for more vigilance on the side of technology utilizing agencies to pay more attention to tooling their human resources, and for policymakers and implementers to strengthen the digital, legal and regulatory environment as part of the efforts to curb the challenge.
Well, thank you for being part of the show. I've been your host, Charles Buoji, and I would like to keep the conversation going. Visit us on our digital channels and let's have this happening.
To the crew behind the camera, thank you so much for making this production possible. And of course, for you who are watching us at home, thank you very much. Join us next time, same station. I'm Shimim K. Matovu. See you next time. God bless.